Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. I wonder how she's not already in jail for repeated break-ins, trespassing, and threats. Let's start our video with a story about a real witch, guys. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Barbara finally gets what she deserves. Does it to herself. We'll call the couple Stu and Barbara. Barbara is a witch. Literally. She took up some religion and they call themselves witches. Barbara love-bombed a very smart but socially inept friend of mine named Stuart. Stu's super quiet, super smart, actual rocket scientist, and was smitten with Barbara. Barbara was smitten with Stu's house, money, etc. No amount of telling Stu would stop him. He was under Barbara's spell, she moved in with him, took over, cut off all his friends, and gaslighted the crap out of him. 4 years later, he sees the light. Time for Barbara to move out. She flat refuses. Stu has a very valuable china collection inherited from his great-grandparents. Barbara's always wanted that china since the royal family somewhere has a set like it, and Stu had to lock it up in a valuable safe since she breaks things when she doesn't get her way. When her eviction notice time was up, we helped pack up Barbara's crap, stack the boxes in the garage in her parking place, and change the house's locks. Stuck around to see Barbara finally get the boot. The evil genius in our bunch got a bright idea. We took a bunch of warning, extremely fragile stickers from my shop, stuck them on the boxes, and wrote Stu's China on the boxes with big black Sharpie. Barbara comes out with her sister and another harpy/witch friend, sees the boxes in the garage, and blows up. Argument in the yard, she can't get in the house, and starts losing it. When she gets in her SUV, she sees the boxes again, backs up, and rams them so hard it broke through the wall into a storage room behind. She's not done. She backs up and rams the boxes/wall again. We're already on the phone to police, and it's caught on home surveillance camera. She rammed her own stuff. The cops weren't amused, wanted to know why boxes were mislabeled. We said we reused the boxes from Stu's original move since they were handy. One officer wasn't amused with Barbara, staying to fill out reports, and actually laughed once it was all over. He's the one that said someone is an evil genius. I wish I'd thought of this in my divorce since his wife burned/cut up virtually everything he owned. Barbara has since attempted to break into the garage or house 3 times in the past 2 weeks. Police have camera footage. What's left of her crap was delivered to a storage locker that 1 month rent was paid on, and no, we didn't rebox any of it. It's in the same state she left it in the garage, drywall, wood splinters, insulation, and all. Stu's spending a lot of time with us catching up, trading insane X stories, smiling more than I've seen since he met Barbara, and I couldn't care less where Barbara is. And I hope it's awful with her friends barking at the back door constantly. Edit for more information. She's the little sister of another guy in my friend group since high school. Every class has a pretty girl in it. Barbara was the pretty girl in the whole high school and the meanest witch in high school. And spell witch with a B. Think young Pam Anderson before the beehive hair and fake boobs, but maybe even better looking. Her brother's tall, well-built, naturally light blonde, and has statuesque features. Everyone in that family is crazy attractive, but Barbara just won the genetics lottery. The hard partying, selfish lifestyle hasn't treated her well over time. Absolutely could stop everyone in the room in their tracks with gaping mouths in her 20s, but now creeping into her 50s, she barely gets a notice, and she hates that. Stu was a bookworm. Astronomy, has a doctorate in astrophysics. I don't think he knew girls existed in high school. Was way too busy trying to get scholarships to college. Stu plays guitar, has a history degree, has a computer science degree, loves dogs, is absolutely no drama ever, and takes mice outside to release them because he can't be mean or kill anything. Stu's first girlfriend was a little plain when you first met her, but got a lot more attractive the longer you knew her. Just a great person. Ovarian cancer got her about 7 years ago. Not long after, she was diagnosed a tumor ate into a major artery and it ruptured. She died quite suddenly, and we rode up that mountain with him. Then he met Barbara while still heartbroken and lonely. Barbara, on the other hand, has been married a couple times, cheated on those husbands, has a couple kids she dumped off on the fathers, was into the crystal-gripping hippie New Age crap, then went full black magic or something a few years back and declared herself a witch queen or something. We weren't around much since Barbara wouldn't allow it. She's had affairs with 2 of her family members' husbands and one of the father-in-laws that I know about through her brother, and I don't listen 99% of the time. A string of DUIs, 4 I think, drug possession. Nothing is ever her fault. Typical narcissist in the textbook sense. Her kids won't see her. Her exes and brother have restraining orders against her. You get the idea. She managed to get her parents' entire estate signed over to her and had to run through about $400,000 of inheritance. Was broke when she met Stu again, still looked like she had money, but was broke to the point of desperation. What's funny, the BMW SUV she rammed her stuff with was a birthday present from Stu a few months back. Now it's all crashed up in the front end to the point the front doors don't want to open. This is the same woman that paid $30,000 for a horse despite nowhere to board it, no experience with horses, just saw it and was a color she liked. She was trying to keep it in a 1-car garage, which she never cleaned when animal control got involved. Some horse rescue place took the animal until it could be sold to a good home, which it did. Sale price was generous according to the people that knew horses in the market. Sale price $7,000. She paid $30,000 and wouldn't admit she got conned. She had the gall to tell my wife she wasted her life. My wife has 2 doctorates, an MD/surgeon and psychology doctorate, works mainly with children and some with disabled veterans. Doesn't pay much compared to high-end plastic surgery, and Barbara thinks working at the VA and children's hospital is a waste of time and effort. Barbara says poor people/disabled vets are losers and shouldn't get what they can't pay for. Never mind, I'm a disabled vet, and I paid for my VA services with a back broken 7 places, lost both knees, 1 hip, 3/4 of 1 lung, shoulder, and ankle. I'm an entitled leech on the system. Back surgery's how I met my wife. She helped get my legs working, dropped me as a patient after about 4 months so she could try dating me. We bonded over bringing the hospital kids out to spend time on my farm, so as you might guess, I'm not on Team Barbara. Her brother, Ron, is the best guy you'd ever want to meet. Hard-working, family-oriented, honest as the day is long. While women throw themselves at him from all directions, it's actually funny, the only person in the world he's romantically interested in is his wife, doesn't even acknowledge there are other women in the world interested in him. She's a great person too, has her own business, is a super mom, helps my wife with the foster/at-risk kids groups, etc. Barbara hates her brother's wife, calls her Miss Perfect. If it's Mrs. Perfect, actually pretty accurate, and is constantly spreading rumors she's cheating, stealing money, etc. We all think it's narcissistic projection. For the first time in about 5 years, Barbara is no contact, and while discussing this, we all fear there's a huge weight lifted. We'll see how our luck holds. And our next story. Wouldn't let my sister-in-law stay more than 3 nights. When I met my wife, her sister, niece, brother-in-law, and brother lived with her. Not really crazy considering how expensive everything is. When we started to get more serious, they moved out so that I could move in. It was only then that I found out they'd lived with her. Their baby sister, youngest of 6 for the last year, had not paid her anything while staying in her home. Not only was this a nuisance because her 2 small children had to share her room, but also because they cost her money. Also, while they lived there, her brother, alcoholic, stole her bank card and drained her account. He also sent his friend to collect money from her at knife point, with her children present. All this to say that we found a pay stub from her brother-in-law in the room that did not clean up after their exit, stating he made $1,100 every 2 weeks and did not even offer payment. My wife said this is what they told her family does for each other. Flash forward. Her sister moved to Alabama the month of our wedding that she was supposed to be the maid of honor in and can't afford to come back. Cost us deposits and late cancels on venues because they took half my wife's family with them and our guest list was too small. Shortly after the wedding, her sister wants to come back to Ohio, citing medical issues that only her doctors can handle. In reality, she'd burnt the bridge of the person she was couch surfing with by starting fights in their home. Needless to say, she asked us if she could stay with us. At this point, we'd moved to a 2-bedroom trailer, so we said, Because it's medical issues, you can stay with us for 3 days. Our lease did not allow for squatters that were not vetted by the park, and our home wasn't able to fit an extra person. She also slept the day away in my children's bed, so they had no access to their toys or bedroom during the day. 3 days came and went, and I returned from work to her still in the house and asked her where she was planning on going that night. She said she wanted to stay here for another month. This caused an argument between me and my wife in another room of the house, which was heard by the sister and led her to leave with my wife to pick up medicine. She found another place to stay, but told my wife while they were gone that it would be her fault if she died because she let a man come in between family. She then told my wife to divorce me and let her help with the bills. In all of her homeless, unemployed riches. And our next story. She's handicapped. She can't be on the team. So, for some backstory, my friend, I'll just call her Giselle, is disabled. She's in a wheelchair and can't talk or move much. She has a machine that she can talk through so she can communicate. She's super smart and has an insanely good memory, and she made it on a team at school. It was just a team for smart people that did competitions. I don't know what you call it. To get on the team, you had to do a test. If you got over 90%, then you moved on to the next test, where all the people that did well on the first test competed. And the best 14 people made it onto the third part, where the lowest scoring 2 people don't make it to the team. They were very hard. Only 12 people could make it on the team. I tried to get on the team, and I got to the third part, and so did Giselle. There was this mean girl who, we'll just call her Dub, standing for dumb, unempathetic brat, also made it to the third part. She was always super mean to Giselle and made fun of her and mocked her and refused to get near her. It came to the day we all did the test to see the 2 people that wouldn't make it on the team. The 2 people that didn't make it were Dub and a random boy I didn't know. A day after that, we were spending the extra hour at school doing competitions and learning new things. About halfway into the hour, Dub and her mom, EM, comes in, both looking furious. The second Giselle and I see them, we both know crap's about to go down. Our teacher, who we'll call Mr. Person, immediately unwelcomed them, knowing that they were going to argue to try and get on the team, and said, "May I help you?" EM says, yes, my daughter, Dub, didn't make it to the team, and she should be on it. Mr. Person calmly says, "Ma'am, your daughter didn't make it on the team. She can try again next year. This team's for the best of the best." The EM comes back with, "Dub is the best of the best. I bet she deserves to be on the team." Mr. Person sighs, and then I notice EM notices Giselle and is glaring at her. Mr. Person stays silent, not knowing what to say, and then EM breaks the silence with, "Look at that R word. She's in a wheelchair, and she needs a machine to do anything. She should be off the team, and Dub should take her place. She's R word. She can't be on the team." I scoot my chair over to get closer to Giselle to comfort her. Then Mr. Person explodes, furious that this mom would be so rude to Giselle and say she's R word and can't be on the team because she wants her daughter on the team. Do you really think because someone simply has a little bit of trouble doing things physically, that makes them automatically stupid? She was born with that, and she's still incredibly smart. How dare you think that? This is idiotic, and so are you. Giselle starts grinning. EM screams, "Everyone in here is stupid and deserves to rot in hell, especially you and that stupid R word. F you." She then storms out of the room. Everyone's taken aback by that, and Mr. Person is furious for swearing at a bunch of little kids simply because they made it on the team, and that he and Giselle should rot in hell. Giselle's smile turns into a frown, which turns into a sob. We all try to help comfort her, and after a little bit, she calms down. By the end of this, the hour's over, and we all go home. I occasionally see Dub, and whenever I do, she always gives me the most intense death glare she can. Same with Giselle and all the other team members. This was a couple of months ago. The fact that there are people who assume physical disability automatically translates to mental disability is really sad. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.